I thought I'd just give a little intro to Deno because I'm not sure how many people are super familiar with this or have used Deno before. Actually, raise your hand if you've used Deno. Great. Oh, awesome. Well, this will be a review. Maybe there will be some new information here. Yeah, about me, this is my website, and I don't have a Twitter, but you can follow DenoLand. I've been doing programming for a long time. I'm GitHub user number 80, and I'm most well known for creating Node.js, and also maybe somewhat for creating Deno. Been working on JavaScript runtimes for over 10 years now. And I find this subject really fun and interesting because the web is an important thing. It is the medium of human communication, right? This is how we talk to our bank. This is how we talk to our family. This is how we build all sorts of infrastructure, right? And it is incredibly important to all humans at this point. And because of that, the web is unlike other technologies. I think it's fair to say that the web is going to be here 5 years from now, if not 10 or 20 or 100. Who knows what form it's going to look like, but this is very different than other technologies. It's very difficult to predict how technology develops a year from now, let alone 5 years from now. What are mobile phones going to be programmed in? I have no idea. But because the web is so deeply rooted in what we're all of the stuff that we're building, I'm pretty certain that we will still have HTML. I'm pretty certain that we're still going to have CSS, and I'm pretty certain we're going to have JavaScript. So JavaScript is unlike other programming languages in that way. It is something like the default programming language, right? It is future-proof in a way, and that makes it unlike Python or unlike Rust or C. It is somewhat special in that sense. So, you know, I say that because I want to say why I build on JavaScript. I don't particularly like JavaScript. I mean, it's okay. But, you know, there's more beautiful languages. Ruby is a more beautiful language, in my opinion. But Ruby is not tied to web browsers. And because of that, I think JavaScript is fair to say is more important. It's also the most programmed language in the world. So, you know, that was kind of my feeling, I don't know, 12 years ago when I started working on Node. 15 years ago? It's been a while now. I was thinking in terms of servers and applying JavaScript to servers and thinking about how building websites and handling button clicks was very similar to how you program web servers and handling incoming connections. And I was very interested in seeing if we could build fast servers using asynchronous I/O in JavaScript, and in particular, making it really easy to build fast servers. That, in some sense, is still my goal here with Deno. But building fast servers is a bit more than just something running on your laptop these days. Cloud infrastructure has become a lot more complicated and robust. So, you know, thinking about kind of locally how you program a single server is probably not enough now. Now you have to think about Terraform and managing cloud configurations, and you might need to think about running your server in multiple regions around the world to get good latency. You have to navigate all sorts of tool chains and APIs and programming languages, and you have to worry about supply chain security, right? In particular with NPM, you have to be very cautious because every time you install an NPM module, you are potentially running untrusted code, unaudited code on your computer without any sort of guarantees that thing is not going to look into your Chrome cache and steal your credit card information. So, in some sense, Deno is still pursuing these goals of building building fast servers and doing that easily. But it has a expanded scope of what servers entails. It's trying to solve the whole problem. So yeah, Deno is a next generation JavaScript runtime, and its key feature is that it's secure by default. Anytime you access the file system or the network, you're going to get a permission prompt. It has native TypeScript support. I'll talk more about that. It has built-in developer tools like testing and linting and formatting, all kind of out of the box and available for you. It's backwards compatible with Node and NPM, and I'll talk more about that. And it really tries to narrow the gap between what browser JavaScript is doing and what server-side JavaScript is doing. So APIs that are available in the browser, like fetch, should work out of the box in Deno. And we go very deep in this respect. So I think the simplest way to think about Deno is it's a browser for command line scripts. So it can actually execute URLs just out of the box here. So yeah, let me try to demo this. I'm going to have a lot of demos. So let's see if we can make this work here. So Deno run HTTPS. I'm try to copy and paste this URL. So this is a little example. This is a little file which we can curl, and I have network access, so it works. A little file that uploads other files to GitHub's gist. Nothing particularly complicated, but does something. The interesting thing with Deno is that you can just run this. So I can do Deno run. And of course, to upload to gist, you need to have some authentication. And so it's trying to read my gist token from my environment variables. And Deno does not just allow you to access environment variables, just like it doesn't allow you to access essentially anything on the system. And so you get this permission prompt, very much like in a browser when you try to access the webcam. You're going to get a little permission prompt, and here it's asking, should we allow this program, this untrusted program, to access the gist token? So I'll hit Y for yes, and it errors out because I haven't given it a file. So let me try to upload a file, etc password, to gist, and I'll hit yes again. And it's trying to read this file. It's trying to read etc password, so I'll allow that. And now it's trying to access api.github.com. I'll allow that. And hopefully everything worked, and it actually uploaded this file to GitHub. Great. Deno can also execute npm modules, kind of like npx. But let me skip that for now. Let me jump back in here. Deno is truly a single executable. All of this, there are no other files that are necessary. You just need this one file. By the way, is that visible? Yes. Right. This is the only file that you need. It's 100 megabytes, but disks are cheap these days. So this thing contains the entire tool chain for what you need for JavaScript development. All sorts of things, including code formatting and doc generation and integrating with VS Code via language server protocol. And we have the philosophy that this executable is all you ever need to run any Deno program. And Deno ships on Mac and Linux and Windows, and supports those platforms very well. I mentioned that Deno takes web standards seriously, and here's kind of a subset of the APIs available to you in Deno. It's not just fetch. we try very hard, and in fact, if you go onto MDN and kind of look at browser compatibility tables, you'll see that Deno is actually considered one of the browsers, and we really test against the same browser tests, the web platform tests. So you of course have global this and WebAssembly and CryptoSubtle, web workers, transform stream, event target, abort controller, location, form data, request and response, window.close, window.alert even, local storage. So all of these browser APIs are just there and should work very similarly to how they work in the web browser, which hopefully means that you as a web developer don't need to learn 2 different APIs for everything. I want to demo this a little bit with compression stream. Ignore the code there. I'll hack this up myself. So let me first of all create a new directory here. Deno init. This creates a new directory where you have with some default stuff in it, and it gives you a main TS file. I'm going to open up VS Code to not disorient anyone. And yeah, you get this little main file in here, which has some code in it. You can Deno run main.ts, and of course that works. Let's just delete this code though. And let's try to gzip a file with web APIs. Okay, let's compress a file. So I'm going to compress that etc password file. So first of all, I'm going to Deno open etc password. This returns a promise, so I'm going to await that promise to get the file. So this is going to be the input. Call that const. Notice top level await works here. If you even know what that is, but if you do know what that is, you're probably happy about it. And then I'm going to open an output file. So output, and we'll call this passwords.gz. And this one I'm going to create true and write true, and I'll get a little assistance from Copilot there. Okay, so we've got two files open. How do we gzip this? So we can do new compression stream gzip. Oops. This is a newer web API. I don't know, maybe standardized 3 years ago, 1 year ago. Yeah, let's now use web standard streams to compress this thing in an asynchronous way. So I'm going to do input file dot readable to get a readable stream out from this, and then I'm going to do pipe through the gzip, and yeah, Copilot just figured that all out for me, right? And I'll wait the result, and I don't know, we can console log done or something at the end. Okay, let's see if that works. So I run it. It's trying to open etc password, of course. So let's allow that. And now it's trying to write to password.gz. Let's allow that, and it says done. Here we go. We've got our gzipped password file. I won't bore you with ungzipping it and proving that it actually worked. But that's what web streams looks like in the modern era on server side. This is all done asynchronously. Nothing there blocked the main event loop. That was all done in background threads. Yeah, this is very, very, very similar to what you would do in a web browser, in a service worker, in any sort of browser setting. I mentioned that Deno supports built-in Node.js APIs. So our compatibility with Node is pretty good these days. It's hard to assign a number there, but we heavily support these APIs, and most NPM modules these days work out of the box. And so just to demo that, I mean, let me delete this code here that I made, and let's do import read file sync from node:/fs and read file sync etc password, which returns something, and we can just console log that just to demo the API, right? This is the Node version of read file sync. And what's cool about this is that, of course, the permission system still works. All of these Node APIs are still gated by the permissions. And read file sync in Node returns a Node buffer, so we log it out. I forget how to turn it into a stream. Does anybody know here? Copilot knows. There we go. So that's built in Node APIs. NPM modules also work in Deno, and this gets pretty crazy. There's a lot that goes into this, but it's very easy to use. Deno didn't originally support built Node APIs and NPM modules. We started doing this late last year, early this year, and it's a pretty big project. Supporting all those APIs is taking a while. We're not quite done yet, but it's getting really good these days. And to demo that, let me just show you how it might look to import. What was it? Oh, Chalk. Import Chalk from, and do you know what Chalk is? It's like some NPM module that makes color output for the terminal. So to import Chalk, you don't need to deal with a package JSON. There's no Node modules folder. This is all handled very internally in Deno. You just import npm:/chalk like this. And then you can console log. Oh, Copilot, so helpful, right? So we can just import it like that. I'm getting a little squiggly line here because it says an uncached or missing dependency, which is an easy fix once I run it. So I have not downloaded Chalk yet, but as I do this, you might have seen it flash through there, and you see that the red squiggly line is, maybe you didn't see it flash, but we just downloaded Chalk on demand. And of course, we're still reading etc password, so we have to say yes. Actually, let me delete those things. Oh wait, that's not red. What the heck? Hold on. Something like that. Who knows what's going on here? Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me. Oh, sure. Let me just make sure it's the same file. Deno run main.ts. Nope. Okay, I'm not sure why that thing is not changing colors. This is the problem with live demos, right? It's a little bit dangerous. I assure you, it's not our bug. No, I don't know. It might be our bug. NPM modules generally work, and this goes very deep. We support NAPI even. This is like compiled Node extensions, Node add-ons. We support most of the TLS, HTTP, networking libraries. Almost all of this stuff works out of the box. You might notice that in my directory right here, there is no Node modules folder. That didn't need to get created. This is all kind of internal to Deno, and hopefully making the lives of developers much easier. Let me do a slightly more complicated demo with Express just to demonstrate HTTP stuff. So let me delete this code here, and let me import Express from npm:/express. And then I'll do const app express. Yes. It's like, do I even need to program anymore? There we go. And yeah, there we go. Thank you. So this is a little Express server. I'm getting a couple of red squigglies here, and this is saying, oh, the request is declared but never used. By the way, the linter is running in the background. This is all the Deno's linter is written in Rust, quite a bit faster than ESLint. So I'll put a little underscore there to hopefully satisfy this guy. And here I'm getting this is implicitly an any type. The problem with Express is that it is super antiquated and actually doesn't distribute TypeScript types in its package JSON. And so we have to have like a little nasty little pragma here to get out of this. So we have to do Deno types equals npm colon, not that, at types / express. And I think that fixes the error. That pulls in the TypeScript type so that the LSP knows what's going on. Of course, you can also just program JavaScript in Deno, right? We don't force you to use TypeScript. So let me again run this guy. And Express is weird. Like, it wants access to my current working directory. So, okay, I guess so. It also wants access to all my environment variables. Why Express? Why? Use Hono. Stop using Express. Use Hono. Okay? And it requires net access. So we'll say yes. Okay, now I've got a server running on port 3000, and I guess I can curl localhost port 3000, and I get a hello world. So that seems to be working. Of course, you don't always need to click through all of these permission prompts. You can just say allow net, allow env for environments, allow read, apparently, I don't know why, and then you can run it and kind of give access. Namely, I did not give write access to the file system, right? Yeah, so that's in a little Express server. I just want to briefly mention that you can publish packages to NPM using a library called DNT. I won't demo this right now, but I just want to point you at this in case you haven't heard of DNT. This is actually the best way to write NPM packages because we compile. It's really hard to get NPM right. Like you have to have ESM files in there. You have to have CommonJS files in there, right? DNT takes care of all of that garbage for you and puts, allows you to distribute and test them in a sane way. Deno has built-in dev tools, a whole bunch of things. I won't go into all of this, but these are all the Deno subcommands here: testing and linting and docs and coverage. Deno just to demonstrate one of these, Deno compile allows you to take your program and bundle it into an executable for distribution, right? And this contains all of your dependencies so that you can have that single executable that you can go ship, put it on Lambda or wherever you're running your code, and just know that it contains everything. So let's try that with this little Express server here. So I just do Deno compile main.ts. And there we go. We've got a new file here called compression1 that contains everything. This is now my little Express server, which I still have to give all this permission prompt stuff to and address in use because I've got this one going here. If you actually give the same flags here and I do Deno compile, allow net, allow env, etc. This will output a binary that doesn't have the permission prompts, right? So this is pretty nice, right? This is a little, I'm using Macintosh here. This is a little ARM 64 Macintosh binary, but we can also cross-compile, which is pretty interesting. So let's say you wanted to now get an executable that runs on Windows. You can also do this with -- target equals, I have to remind myself, x86 underscore 64. Wait, I'm going to copy and paste that guy. And what this does is it downloads kind of one thing and outputs my compression1.exe. I can't run it on this computer. This is not a Windows computer, but you can upload this to a Windows computer, and now you have that same program, Express, included in there. So yeah, I mentioned that as one example of one of the many tools available in this Deno binary. Deno deploy, maybe you've heard about, is we have a company here, and we're trying to make hosting very, very easy, right? We want this same developer experience to extend to the cloud, and so this is hopefully the easiest serverless platform out there. It scales to 0. It's truly serverless. We think about this day and night. Supports NPM packages, has built-in storage and compute. I'm looking at the time. I won't demo that, but it is. Has low latency globally. So if you deploy to Deno deploy, it's not just out in US East in New York, where I'm from. It will also deploy to the local data center here in Tokyo, so that when you're accessing your site, you're not making a round the world trip to your function. We have very fast cold starts. And this thing is handling a lot of traffic, right? So for example, Netlify Edge Functions is powered by Deno deploy. So let me just take that Express server and upload it to Deno deploy, just to give you a sense of what this entails. So you go to dash.deno.com, you create a new project. I'm going to create a blank project just to keep it simple here. You get a random name here, Exciting Butterfly 16. Take that name, and again, I'm going to, hold on a second. Let me delete some of these files here. So I'm going to deploy Cuddle, our project, deploy Cuddle, deploy, and then you give the project name. Oops. Exciting Butterfly 16. And then you give the entry point, which is main.ts, right? This is going to make a deployment. It takes a second to upload those files to the server. Hopefully my demo works. And now you have a URL where it's hosting this Express server. And this is truly deployed around the world, right? If you access this here in Tokyo, you will get good latency. You can try it yourself. And if you access this in New York City, you will also get good latency. And as I said, supports NPM modules. So yeah, we are building this thing. There's a number of improvements coming down the way. I won't demo this necessarily, but I'll just say that we think a lot about state and data storage as well. And so this Deno KV, which you might have heard a bit about, is kind of our kind of R&D effort around how to manage state across many servers, across many regions. So yeah, I'll leave it there with just a hint to check that out. But Deno KV is as easy as everything else I've demonstrated here, hopefully. And if not, feel free to email me and let me know. Yeah, thanks for coming out here, and yeah, I'll be around, of course.
はい、ありがとうございます。はい、あ、質問取っていいですね。あ、ちょっと待ってください。会場からですね、ちょっとお時間もないところで、もし1問ぐらいご質問あれば、いただきたいと思うんですが、誰かご質問ある方いらっしゃいますか？手挙げていただいたらありがたいですけども、いらっしゃらないですか？あ、じゃあそちらマイクお願いします。
Thanks for the talk. Well, do you have any plan to, like, I'm using Deno KV,
Oh,
and
great.
I'm using it in local, and I would like to use a different backend for the KV. So, do you have any plan to prepare some future to switch something
Yeah.
like that?
Let me just repeat the question. So you're using Deno KV, and you're wondering if there are different backends for KV.
Yeah.
So there's a number of backends. When you run it locally, you
Yeah.
get a SQLite backend, so you can run tests without talking to our server, which is kind of a nice property, right? You don't need to emulate our cloud setup.
Yeah.
When you deploy it to Deno Deploy, you get this Foundation DB
Yeah.
backing. We are thinking about the Foundation DB thing is very complicated and proprietary, of course. We are thinking about an open source backend for this as well to allow people who are using, for example, Lambda to also make use of KV. But that is still under development.
All right. Okay, thanks.